Welcome to Season 4 of Chatting with TAC, where we have a monthly conversation about all things new, exciting, and teen here at MML. Every month, different Teen Advisory Council members get together to talk about what we're working on, the new books we're ordering, the activities we're planning/hosting, and a variety of interesting topics. Interesting is a bit of a stretch, but we try. TAC Coordinator Jami, that's me, attempts to keep everyone on track, but quite often is the one who derails the train. This season, we're trying to add just a smidge of structure with the addition of different segments for each of our topics. Feel free to bounce around and skip the things you don't want to listen to. As a general disclaimer, we note at the beginning of each episode that the views and opinions expressed within our program are the thoughts of our TAC members and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of Marvin Memorial Library as an organization. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoy this month's conversation.
Okay.
So I'm Jasmine. Hi.
I'm Sharon.
So I'm the vice president of TAC.
I'm the community manager of TAC.
So,
I'm Jami. How you doing?
yep, she's always here.
I am always here, yes. You're going to watch your spikes.
Oh, is that me?
I think so.
Oh.
It's not me. That's me.
Yeah.
It's
so,
okay.
Yeah.
What
are you talking about?
So we're gonna talk about things that's going on in February.
February, yes. We are recording
February.
it. We got a little bit behind, but I think it's going to put us a little bit ahead eventually. And so we're going to try to see what happens here. This is February things. And if I double check our calendar, I will tell you when it posts. You talk about what we got going on.
Okay. So February. So Thursdays and Mondays and Thursdays we have Teen Studio.
The
Yeah.
14th. This is scheduled to post on the 14th.
14th.
So, you're going to want to talk about everything that happens between like February 14th and March 14th.
Okay. So the 15th, which is that Thursday, is
Tomorrow, if we posted this on the day we were supposed to post this.
tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Hopefully it'll be there.
There is Teen Studio at 3:30.
That happens every single Monday and every single Thursday, no matter what.
Yeah.
So that's an easy one to
That doesn't
remember. You can't
change.
screw that up.
Yeah, and then the tween group.
That's not you.
Okay, yeah, that never mind.
Yeah, only worry about the things that are you. That you should, by this point, know which things belong to you. Please tell me you do, because if I have to stop another video because two of my officers don't know what things belong to them, I will cry.
I at least knew it wasn't mine.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
'Cause I've never heard of it.
See, there you go. I like that.
Then the 20th is Teach Me Tuesday.
What are we learning about in February?
Ain't that?
Isn't it the music?
It is
history?
music history. We're going to
Music
talk about
history.
the rise of rock and roll, led
I
by
want
Jami.
that
So cross your fingers
It'll
But-
be
on
great.
how this one goes.
It'll go great.
Yeah, before
Well-
that, there's no school the 19th, so yay.
There isn't?
Nah, President's Day.
Nope.
We're closed that day too,
Yep.
which is new to us this year.
Yep.
Yay.
And then the 21st, there is Study Buddies. I help out with that. Like,
Meets every Wednesday. It's mostly for kids. I don't know that we have enough registered kids to need to plug it for teen helpers. I think if I had too many teen helpers, they would have nothing to do, and that would be sad. So maybe focus on the movies.
oh yeah, every Wednesday at 5:30 there is a movie night, and
Our February theme is what?
all I know is this month is for January.
January. We watch
Yeah,
musicals.
this month.
The theme in February, I think it's something to do with like games and toys.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're doing
Lego
like
Batman.
this Lego Batman's one of them. Super Mario Brothers movie. That I don't care how many times I say it wrong. I'm never gonna say it right just because it annoys
Mario.
Adam.
It's Mario.
Yeah.
And Lego Batman, Jumanji's in there, and I think we're watching Wreck-It Ralph again.
Yay.
And for the record, while everybody complains about what movies we're watching, I would like it known to the general public as well as you guys. I didn't pick the movies.
We did.
I picked
You
most of them.
picked the movies.
I was advocating for most of them.
So if you don't like them, it's not my fault.
It's fine.
Although I would like to argue that we did pick good movies. These movies are
Yeah.
fun, that even if you've seen before, you could watch again. I mean, half the time we don't watch the movie, we're too busy talking to each other or working on something anyway. So, like,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be fun.
Then at the end of the month, 29th, at 6 o'clock that night,
That's not for you either.
it's still Family Fortnite.
It is Family Fortnite,
That's
but
not
that's for,
us.
like, kids, not
I
for
know.
teens.
I'm still letting people know. We can still let people
You
know.
can, yes, let people know. I'm not going to argue that. However,
It's not us.
I don't know that anybody outside of a teenager who is related to you or
My baby cousin.
likes you is probably not going to be paying much attention to this particular podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
Probably
that
not.
we're going to plug our teen stuff more.
Yeah.
What's your teen special in February? That's one you should be talking about because registration for that opens like what, here?
Is that Cupcake Wars?
Yeah!
Ooh.
Cupcake Wars!
Talk about Cupcake Wars.
Okay.
Because registration closes for, okay, if Cupcake Wars is here, registration
for that.
probably closes on what they
We
say,
don't
like the
have the themes
15th.
Oh.
We don't have the themes yet. And I think maybe I'll do what I did last year and we won't tell people, even you guys, what themes win in the vote so that there's a little bit more of an even playing field on that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So for Cupcake Wars,
What is that?
so you like sign up to like. You have to bake the cupcakes.
You don't bake the cupcakes.
Oh, someone bakes them for you.
I buy uniced cupcakes.
So you
And
decorate
you
them.
decorate the cupcakes.
You
There
Decorate
go.
them,
So-
and then you win prizes.
Yay,
Hopefully.
you
I've never
decorate
won
and-
something before.
No, but you always have fun, right?
Yeah, it's fun though. I've
I
never
always
won.
wanted to come to one. I'm going to this one.
What themes are we talking about for this time? I mean, we've been talking about them a lot. Do we need
Blue
more?
was one.
Blue was one.
Um,
I think it was better that you read it orange, but blue works. I mean, now these are things we're talking about. We haven't necessarily picked them yet, but do we remember anything else?
decomposition.
Yes, decomp, which really threw Vicky off. But
Yeah.
once
No,
she figured out what
seriously.
once she figured out what it was, she said, "Okay, that's kind of fun."
Yeah. Wars, tanks specifically for Adam.
Yeah, I think maybe that one's gonna get outvoted.
Nature.
Nature was one.
Ocean.
Oceans, I think we grouped that into like
Yeah.
nature was like oceans and rainforests.
Yeah.
I know we did like the decomp thing was like mushrooms and worms that got moved into the bug
bones,
section and
worms,
bones.
and mushrooms are in the decomp. What was the other
We
one?
used to always do a book theme,
Yeah.
but I don't know that that's on our list this year.
No one reads anymore.
No, as evidenced by how difficult it is to get together the podcast for books, which we will be talking about later.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, in the past, some things that we have done, we did a history theme, we did orange, we've done books, we've done, oh crap, now my brain's farting out.
Didn't we do animals?
I think we've done animals.
I just remember that pig.
Somebody
Ice
made
cream,
Cookie
ice-
Monster one year.
Yeah.
I don't know what the theme was for that. Maybe
We've done romance.
We've done romance. We did. I don't know that Cupcake Wars is the night I figured out that Logan was colorblind because I thought he was just making a statement when he made his American flag with like purple and pink and things, and he was like, "No, I'm colorblind," and we were like, "Oh."
That makes sense.
That might have been the history theme.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. We always do 3 different themes that you decorate to. We're gonna do overall best cupcake decorators rather than best cupcakes. So we'll have 3 prizes, first, second, and third, and then we'll do some contestant voted favorites for smaller prizes. it is in my list of requests for the friends to, I asked them for gift cards, so we'll see what we get. And I'll supplement that with some, like, baking supplies and things and whatnot. So, other than that, do we have anything going on in the first 2 weeks of March that you want to remind them of or talk about? I think it's just normal stuff, isn't it? Like, we have Teen Studios.
Movie night.
Because Nerd Herd will be after the next podcast conversation post. And our special will be after that. We're just at a weird time
like
now
normal.
because we're in between things.
Mm-hmm.
Because we missed the one posting because of illness and travel and stuff.
Yeah.
And the March movie theme, do we remember what it is? Is March Spider-Man or is March Scooby-Doo? Because March and April, I can't remember. I think it's Spider-Man. I think March is Spider-Man,
Then April is.
and then
Scooby-Doo.
April is Scooby-Doo.
I'm so hyped. I love Scooby-Doo.
I do too.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the two newest cartoon Spider-Men. And then Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, which, as a person who was around the first time that Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man and everybody was really excited about it, his are the most boring Spider-Man movies.
I like the Tobey one.
Like, Tobey is my least favorite Spider-Man.
I like Tobey.
And I say that as an old person who was there the first time. Like, when they were in theaters. Do we have anything else exciting going on between now and March 14th that you maybe want to talk about a little bit?
There's more movie nights.
Yeah.
What's this?
Oh.
That, yes, I mean, isn't open to the general teen population, but is usually something that you like talking about.
Murder night. Murder mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah, Murder Mystery Night, which is all written and acted by TAC members, which is a good plug as an effort to get people to be TAC members, right?
You gotta do murder mystery if you become a member.
It's really fun though.
Mm-hmm. What are we
I
currently
will
working on
participate.
and planning and prepping for that? Which you
I'm
should
not
be able to
in it.
answer even as a person who wasn't at our last meeting.
Like, we're trying to get our characters and the timeline together and certain things situated and put into the timeline, and then we go on from there. And, like, we do, like, some nights we, like, rehearse what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to those yet.
We haven't got to that far yet.
But we're gonna need a lot of that based on how our last 2 meetings have gone. We are gonna need a lot of rehearsal.
How bad was Friday?
It wasn't too bad. We got a lot of timeline stuff figured out, which is nice. But it's an interesting combo because we have a couple people who are very strict to this is what's written down, this is what has to happen. And then we have a couple people who are very, I don't even know what's written down, I'm just going to see what happens. And I think it's an odd mix of planning.
Yeah.
I think it'll be great the night we do it because
But
it somehow always comes
around
together,
then.
which I argue we should not get complacent in assuming that it'll come together on its own. It only comes together
Sometimes.
with a lot of work and Jami yelling. So I don't think we should get lazy about our prep work. But I do also think we have an interesting combination of it's written down this way, it has to happen this way, and if it's not written down, I don't know how to do it. And I don't even know what's written down. I'm just going to see what happens. And you also have to remember, too, we invite the public. They don't know anything that's written down. So they're just gonna throw wrenches into everything we plan and prep anyway. So, it's all about being able to think on your feet. And
Improv.
Yes. Which is why you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And which I think maybe we might run into some trouble with. But
Yeah.
it worked last year and I was super convinced it wasn't going to. So I am sure it'll be fine. I am starting to get a little nervous that theory meetings in a row I've asked a couple of you who you are and how you relate to other people and you don't even know who you are. That makes me nervous.
I know who I am, so.
I I don't know who I am.
No, you don't need to. You're great. No, I did tell. I can't remember what he said, but I did tell Aaron he was really stressing me out on Friday.
I feel like
He said something.
Well.
Like he said something, and I was like, you're just stressing me out. You and Hannah together, like.
I feel like he always stresses you out a little bit, though.
Yeah. But it'll be good. It'll be great. And we've got some interesting things planned for a 1935 Great Depression murder.
Yay! Did you go through the masquerade?
No, it's 1935. We're at a wake. It's in the middle of the Depression. It's so sad. I got super outvoted.
Yeah.
Shelley's excited though.
She's
Her menu's super easy this year.
Yeah.
I still like the masquerade idea.
I think we should do that next year.
You should.
Yeah. Since tomorrow might be my last year.
Might be.
I might come back.
You planning on not graduating?
I am.
Oh, you're gonna be a returner.
Yeah.
You had me confused for a minute. I was like,
Yeah.
what has happened? In the it's only been like a week since I saw you.
Will see me a lot, though. I will return from university. That is a promise.
Okay, that'll be good. Do we have anything else super interesting or exciting that we need to talk about? Probably not. You can tell me no this time.
It doesn't look like it. It's just family nights.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah. So.
Just normal run-of-the-mill stuff. Don't forget Mondays and Thursdays at 3:30 we do Teen Studio,
Yeah.
which is pretty fun. What did we make today?
So, well, I didn't make anything.
Is it these
But-
things?
Yeah.
I'll grab it.
Yeah.
So, like, it's very kind of a free-for-all. You get to work on whatever you want to work on. But we made some button trees. Mostly because it worked really well with the younger kids. I thought it might be fun for the bigger kids. There you go.
That's
Nobody
what
has a
they
face.
made today.
So yeah, we could do that. Sarah worked on some origami a little bit. I don't know
That's
how
fun.
successfully because origami is hard.
I don't like origami.
We have done homework. We've done Monopoly games. We've played Uno a whole lot.
And I just talked to Jami the whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just kind of depends on who's here. Like, we base our activities based on who's here. But we always have, like, craft supplies and games. And I think last week when I wasn't here, Vicky said they played, like, Hangman and Pictionary all night.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty common for this batch. So, yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. Should be great.
Yep.
So we hope to see you soon at
Hopefully.
something. We have a lot of things going on.
We do. So, if you can, make it to something.
We're busy.
Yeah. It's always fun. It's always great. We always have snacks. Sometimes we have pizza.
Yep.
Yay.
Which is great fun. Are we?
Pizza, like, once a
We do
month.
pizza
It's
once a month at movies. And then
It's-
depending on our activity, we sometimes do pizza then too. Like
Yeah.
video game night in January, we're going to do pizza.
Yay.
That's this week actually.
Oh,
Not
what is this?
not
I don't
video
think-
posting week, but video recording week.
No, we do
Oh, that
video
is-
games.
yeah.
Hannah does video games, though.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
I mean, somebody's got to
Sometimes.
keep me entertained while we're, doing that.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so then, are we ready to move on to other topics of discussion?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pause.
Yeah, you have to turn that off too. Are you ready for a little bit of chaos? Or a whole lot of chaos? Because that's probably what you're going to get. Well, good, because here is where you're going to find the patented TAC ridiculousness. We're going to talk about whatever pops into our head, whatever we have going on in our lives, and the things that we are most interested in. Or whatever else happens to come up along the way of conversation. We'll just see what happens. This is where we talk about mushrooms and pigs and books and driving into porches. Like, you never know what you're going to hear. So, stick around for everybody's favorite piece of chaos.
Okay.
What are we going to talk about?
This
This is when we get to talk about whatever we want to talk about.
You can go first.
Okay.
And we usually have topics picked ahead of time, but I don't think we picked topics ahead of time this time. So,
No.
what you going to talk about?
Okay, so in my lab for school, the 9th of February, we are going to Maryland, I think it is.
Maryland.
Like the state?
I think it's like college or something.
Oh.
Oh, like Marion.
Marion,
oh my God.
college.
I was so confused. That's where
Like,
we
that's
went.
a long
educational
trip for...
purposes, I guess. I'm not 100% sure what we're doing, but we got to
You
wear
should
a
maybe
uniform.
figure that out.
Yeah.
Lunch is provided, so that's all I care about.
Is that the only thing you ever care about?
It's food.
I mean, it's a
We get
valid
free
answer.
food.
You are
Yeah,
allowed to
it
say, yeah, free food is the best part. I'm just
The
curious.
last field trip we did for a lab, we went to Ashland.
Okay.
And we had to listen to some people talk about like different fields, like security and that kind of stuff. It was fun. Then after they gave us some like little souvenirs and everything else. And then after all that, we got to eat at the restaurant there. It was free food.
Free food.
I just sat there talking to my instructor.
I don't want to tell you people
Oh
what
my
to
gosh.
do or how to run your lives.
Oh, goodness.
But our one audio
It's like that
listener is not going
That
to be able to
big.
hear anything that you just said. Now, if you look at our statistics, we have like one audio listener, maybe two, depending on the month. And they are not going to know anything that happened at all in this because instead of big spikes, we have teeny tiny little spikes. So like
That's
maybe
so funny. Okay.
talk into the microphone.
Yep, that's better.
Yeah, no, look at that. Look at that.
Oh. Okay, so you're field tripping someplace you don't know where for some reason you don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yep.
Do you know anything, Sharon?
About what?
Anything at all?
Oh my God.
She picked a topic she doesn't know anything about. Do you know anything?
Not about that.
Well, no, you're not going to. But
No.
About anything else?
Oh my God, I don't know, but I was talking to Charlie, which is a friend of mine, and apparently there was a whole sewage leak at her school, and she wasn't allowed to go home.
Now, wait a minute.
Like that, like I don't know if she's just flat out lying to me or something, but
They had a sewage leak
A
at
sewage
the
leak.
school, and nobody was allowed to leave?
yeah,
I feel like that's a really good reason for people to leave.
Yeah, but apparently there's like, I don't know what school she goes to, I can't remember, but apparently there's like 15 security guards at that school every day, all day, which
That's
is
horrible.
15 actual police officers at your school. Like
That
is
seems like too
crazy.
many.
That seems like that's so many, and there's
That
also
seems like too
fights
many.
every single day.
So they're obviously helping a lot.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, I mean, it's good to...
It's like Cambria's school. It's crazy.
It's good to have support when needed,
Yeah, but I feel like
but
15 is kind
that
of...
seems like a lot. And they have done a lot of studies. There's been a lot of proponents in recent years. And I can't remember any of it off the top of my head, so I'm going to sound like an idiot who's making things up. But they have done a lot of research into that kind of thing, and that kind of school presence doesn't always help
No.
in the way we think it should.
No, but the school she
Like,
goes
it sometimes has, like, a negative impact on, like, crime rates, so to speak. I mean, that sounds stupid to say for a school, but, like...
No, but the school she goes to, it has, like, no money. And,
Oh, that always makes it worse, too.
and everyone, and it's in, like, a really, really, really bad area.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just bad.
Yeah,
In
so
general.
they're doing the best they can with what they have
Yes.
in an attempt to make everybody feel safer
And then it's not working at all.
yeah.
Because
I
there's fights
heard-
all the time.
Honestly, in most situations I find, doesn't matter what situation it is, the harder we try to make things better and the harder we try to fix things, the more goofy it gets.
The worse it gets.
The worse it gets,
The
yes.
worse it
Like,
gets.
it's like the harder we try, the worse it gets. But, yeah.
Yeah, at a school, I don't remember what school, but there was a water leak, so they had to
That's
cancel
crazy.
school
Yeah, they canceled school.
for it.
Like, I don't know if it was happening, like, I think it was, like, happening outside of the school. Like,
Like a pipe burst or something.
Yeah, or
like
like they,
outside of
yeah,
the school,
and
but
so
it was,
like they
near
had,
enough to the school where people were like, we should have been able to go home. Which is, like, crazy. Like, it's so weird.
it could be too, like, you can't just leave the building on your own. You
Yeah.
have to, like,
Like,
have
it's
your
so
sanctioned ride or
weird.
wait until the buses get here kind of thing. It's hard to tell, but I would assume like,
I'll become my mom.
and it could be too like maybe, in an effort to be a logical human, which sometimes doesn't work when you're talking about schools and large numbers of people.
Yeah.
But like maybe based on where they were working on it, it was safer to keep everybody where they were than to put them in the middle of a construction zone.
Yeah.
Hard to
All
tell.
she told me is that there was a sewage leak, so that's all I know.
Yeah, sewage leak. I wanted to leave. They wouldn't let me leave, which on paper sounds horrible. Like,
Yeah, no.
no,
So
that does
weird.
sound backwards from what you
little
think
bit,
would
yeah.
happen.
Yeah. And later this week, there's sophomore visits. The January
Isn't
20,
that Thursday?
Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, it's the 25th. I'm going.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds so excited!
Yay!
Yay!
Some of those kids are going to body slam to the ground.
No! I
No, we
cannot
can't say that
sanction
on the-
violence on the podcast!
We can't be mean
Well,
on
let
the
me phrase that.
podcast.
Some people,
Make angry.
yes.
Yes, violence is never the answer. Even if I do threaten occasionally to take off my shoe and throw it in your direction, which we all know, A, I'm not going to do. That's too much work, take off my shoe. And B, my aim stinks. I'd never get anywhere close to you.
Except that one time.
Except that one time with Hannah. But that was years ago. And I really
It was
didn't.
twice.
It was twice in the same night at book club. She kept coming back. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I took an old teacher trick and threw a Hershey Kiss in her direction to get her to pay attention when she was supposed to pay attention. And I accidentally hit her right dab in the forehead.
It's so funny.
A teacher hit me in the head with a sucker.
Oh, you don't want hit in the head with a sucker. This was a Hershey Kiss. Which apparently hurt more than I thought it was going to anyway. But I definitely would not be throwing suckers at people.
Yeah, that hurt. So, that was fun.
Well, yeah, no, because I would assume that one would hurt.
It was a parade, too.
Parade.
Yeah, you gotta watch out at parades. That's why I tell you how to throw candy when we do parades.
I was leaning down to get some candy, and the teacher just chucked it at me.
That's
Yeah,
so
see?
funny,
That's why you're not
actually.
supposed to overhand.
That's so
That's
funny,
why that
actually.
one summer, Raylyn wasn't allowed to throw candy when she came to my house to do bicycle days. Raylyn was not allowed to throw candy because I think that was the year she was in the boot because she had to ride in the back of the truck. And we all said we were going to sign her up for softball because like she kept throwing them because she was riding in the truck. She thought she had to throw them harder than when she walked. And so she was like really, I mean, like at one time she hit me in like the back of the head, and I was like, okay, if that's how hard we're throwing them, you cannot be lobbing Tootsie Pops that are this big at the heads of children.
That's so funny.
Now,
Like, that's crazy.
I have met
That's
teenagers that I would like to do that to. I would.
Well, I know a couple too.
But,
Just imagine just throwing that and having
No.
a kid with a big old.
Yeah, no, it's
You
horrible.
said-
No, that's why there are rules to parade candy. Because
That's
surprisingly
crazy,
enough,
actually.
candy does hurt when it bings you in the head.
It does.
That's kind of funny, though.
It is a little bit funny, but
like
only if you're not the one whose head got hit with a Tootsie Pop. Those things
Gosh.
hurt.
That seems
It
terrible.
It does a little bit, doesn't it?
Like whenever I got hit in the head with an apple when I was younger, a full apple. It was one of my
That's so
sisters
nice.
too, because they were trying to.
Can
chuck
I
it at
say
me.
what I'm thinking that doesn't sound very nice?
Oh. Uh-oh.
I know everybody gets nervous when I start saying that, but like, if you've been hit in the head this many times, like, do you use that as the reason why you are the way you are, or do you just like say whatever?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. That's a good
There's
answer. I would
different
use that.
reasons.
There are
There's
different reasons for me
yeah.
being me. Yeah. Mhm. And honestly, you're the only person in the room who can answer my question half the time. So, yeah, maybe you got hit just the right number of times in the head. Like, not too many, not too few.
Yeah.
This is a weird topic of discussion for a
I
podcast.
even
Just
got
throwing
dropped
that
my
out
head.
there. Like, yeah,
I
you
got
know.
dropped
Get
my head
Mom's
as a
gonna
baby
watch
too.
this.
My mom did drop me once. My mom doesn't listen to these, so I can tell this story because she swears that She swears up, down, and sideways that she did not drop me. However, everybody else in attendance at that year's Hall of Fame parade will tell you that she dropped me.
That's so funny.
That was my first Hall of Fame. It was the year Franco Harris was inducted, which is why she dropped me. Because he was in the parade.
That's so
And
funny.
apparently, she did not drop me. She forcefully put me back in the stroller. However, everybody else in attendance that day will say she dropped me.
That's so funny.
I did not land on the pavement, so I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
But I was dropped. My sister, though, she did drop her, and Mom tells that story, too. She did, because she was like, she lifted her up by the back of her overalls, and the overall snap came undone, and Michelle's face hit the floor. That explains a lot about my sister. My poor
That's
sister.
Crazy.
Oh my god,
No.
Yeah, so yeah, no, I think everybody has one of those stories.
Yeah.
Were you dropped?
Probably. I'm pretty sure my dad said he's dropped me before. I'm like 90% sure he said that, but I'm not sure.
Well, if you don't remember it, that's good. That means it's not super traumatic
Yeah.
to, like,
used to get in
imprint
butter
as one
and
of your
eggs.
first memories of life, because that would be bad.
Yeah.
Now, I used to get into peanut butter, eggs, and butter, and just, like, smear it. When I was a baby. All over.
Peanut butter, eggs, and butter, like, all together at once, or just,
Or
like, individually?
Different times.
Different times.
Okay. I was like, what are we doing, making cookies?
I even poured syrup on my head.
Oh, but that's so hard to clean.
I ain't the one cleaning it.
Well, no, at that stage of life, you're not.
No.
It was my parents.
But, you know, you gotta watch out, because karma will bite you in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
You will be got for this at some point.
I think it was the apple of the head.
The apple to the head was you getting got for this?
Probably.
Could be.
But, I had nothing else.
Nothing else to talk about?
I used to eat straight jelly when I was a kid. Like, just with, like, a spoon in the kitchen.
I mean, you do you, because
No, I hate jelly.
I do
I-
the same thing with peanut
I
butter.
see. I don't do peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter and jelly, the textures don't mix. That's
No, they
bad.
don't.
It's
Yeah.
gross. So I used to do, like, my mom would sometimes make me like a peanut butter and fluff sandwich, which I do still eat those. Hey, sometimes I
They're nice.
don't
They're
want
good.
to cook, or I didn't pack a good lunch, so I
Yeah.
keep peanut butter and fluff in my locker. They work good in a pinch as an emergency lunch.
Yeah.
Anyway, so sometimes Mom would do that, but most of the time I would get like a jelly and fluff sandwich, which I don't think I could eat that today. Do you know how much sugar that is? Like marshmallow and jelly on bread.
It's
That
kind
was
of
to make my
crazy.
teeth
Sounds
work.
horrible,
crazy.
doesn't
I
it?
just got
Like,
my teeth fixed.
that sounds
A
like
lot.
diabetes on a plate.
A lot
I mean,
of
I know that's
cavities.
not how that works, but
Yeah.
like
No,
that's
that's cavities on a plate.
that
Yeah.
too. Like, yeah,
Oh my
geez.
god, my
Whew.
mom got these frozen chocolate covered strawberries, and I swear to God, they're the best things I've ever had. I swear they're so
Frozen
good.
chocolate
Like
covered
true
strawberries.
fruit or something.
Oh,
They're
okay.
so good. They're so
I do
good.
love a good chocolate covered strawberry.
Like my mom just got them, and I've ate like half the bag
Chocolate
already.
covered bananas are pretty good too, but
Yeah.
Yeah. I
they're a
also
little
got
weirder to eat.
I got new shampoo and conditioner, Shea moisturizer, which is really expensive. Like it's so crazy how expensive that is.
Oh yeah, if you're gonna do anything right in the department of like hygiene,
And
It's-
Dr. Bronner.
gonna be like insane.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
And I got Dr. Bronner body wash. So
Very fancy. I'm
But-
an old lady. I now use Olay because it's got like the moisturizers in it. And like I don't have my skin's not as dry, so I'm.
Oh, yeah. I used to do a lot of stupid things when I was a baby.
We're just bouncing all over the place.
yeah,
aren't
I
we?
don't remember anything from when I was younger, honestly.
I really like that I only know that story because it's been told so many times. But like, yeah, I don't actually remember
Oh,
being dropped.
I think it was
I
when
don't
I used to
remember
go, when I used to live in Mansfield, I used to live in an apartment complex, and I was jumping on my bed, and there was like a top of like a can thing,
Mhm. This is why we don't jump on beds. I don't even know the end of this story, and I know this is why we don't jump on beds.
So, slipped between your toes.
It slipped in between my toes. My dad literally had to carry me to the bathroom, put my foot underneath the water in the tub, and I was just screaming.
Well, yeah.
I would cry so hard.
I mean, I did step on glass once. It was pretty uncomfortable.
I sprained my ankle like twice.
I don't like that.
The same
I
year.
don't like
I
thinking
mean,
about
no,
that. I don't like thinking about it.
That I cut my toes and everything, I sprained my ankle. So that was fun. The same year, too.
That's not nice.
So you're just a little accident prone.
Mm-hmm. The Save-A-Lot down here.
Mm-hmm.
I ran to a, somehow, there's like the thing that's in the middle of like the doors and everything. I ran into that.
That's so
like
funny.
the door frame in the middle of the door?
Like when you walk into the door, that one, like a metal piece that, okay, when you walk into the door and you're about to turn this way, the metal,
Like
Yeah.
the door's like this, right? And there's like the indoor and the outdoor. Do you mean
Yes.
this piece of metal in the middle?
sort of. It's like okay,
And
I
then
walk in the
there's
door.
like
I walk in the door.
there's like a metal railing
Yeah.
that like it's in between the two the two like it's like attached to this piece. Like if this was the door,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this side of the railing
The
would
railing?
be out. This side of the
You ran
railing
into
would
the
be in.
railing?
You ran into that thing?
Yeah.
That's so weird. They're like there's enough space, I feel like.
I wasn't paying attention.
Right there is the problem with the entire current batch of TAC. All stories, problems, and I don't knows can be explained by I wasn't paying attention.
Uh-oh.
Like I just like if you paid 2% more attention, it wouldn't take a lot.
No.
Just a little bit more attention. You'd save yourself and me a couple headaches, I think.
And my dad was with me, and he said, "How did you manage to do that?" I don't know.
It takes talent to be that ridiculous. Not gonna lie.
The worst
I
I've ever
trip over
done is
air at
sprain
school,
my
too.
ankle. That's the worst I've ever done.
I fell out of my sister's kitchen and we're pretty sure I sprained my ankle, but I didn't go to the doctor. I probably should have.
I didn't go to the doctor either, but like I have this sidewalk going from our garage to the house,
Okay.
and then it's like,
Yeah, a little
It's like-
wonky. Sidewalks get wonky.
and I stepped on the there's like this tree, and I was climbing in the tree, and I fell out of the tree and then landed on the part where it's like,
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah, it was bad,
Like,
and my mom didn't believe me when I said I hurt
and
myself.
when I sprained my ankle over here, when I moved into the house down there, I was playing a game with my cousin or uncle, and there was holes in my backyard, and I stepped in
Holes?
one, and I stepped in a hole, and it,
Yeah.
the
I
blood
would
vessels
cry.
in my freaking ankle.
That
Oh yeah.
would be so bad.
Now this ankle's easy to break now, so that's fun.
How lovely.
So I used to always want to play soccer, but I can't now.
Mm-hmm.
Soccer scares me.
Why? Because it's so boring you think you're going to fall asleep? They have
No,
games where they
no.
don't score or where they tie in soccer. They end games in ties.
They end games in ties.
Yes!
I've never watched this.
I don't really watch them, but I heard somebody else complaining about that. Like, how can you possibly have a
so
how can
weird.
you have a sport where you end a game in a tie? And I was like, you know what?
Stupid.
I have to agree with you. That's dumb.
No, I almost got like drilled in the head like 3 times by my own teammate in gym because
Oh, gym, you don't play in gym's horrible because there's always like 5 people who are super serious
Yeah, we were playing
and
dodgeball,
playing
they
it like
aimed
it's
for
the
my
Super
face.
Bowl.
like
And
no,
you got-
Aimed for my face, like
It's awful.
no,
Seriously?
we had to split it between boys and girls because the boys like this one specific boy wouldn't stop like drilling it, and then he ended up like breaking his ankle that day too.
I'm telling you, sometimes,
So
sometimes God acts immediately.
Yeah, like
Most of the time, the people upstairs are too busy taking care of major catastrophes to do that.
When we were playing
But every
dodgeball.
once in a while,
Yeah,
it is an immediate act of
violence.
like let's find
Revenge.
out.
Karma.
Yeah, because we
Yes.
were playing dodgeball in gym, and the teacher thought it was a good idea to have boys versus girls. The girls got drilled in the head with a dodgeball.
I
I think I didn't
skipped
have one of-
gym every time we played
basketball.
dodgeball. Every time
I was
we played
good at
I
dodgeball
skipped.
only because it didn't matter what game we played. I was ducking the ball because I was afraid of getting hit in the head. So I played dodgeball no matter what we were playing. So on the rare occasion when we did play dodgeball, which we really weren't allowed to do, they always had to call it something else.
Somehow I got hit in the head with a basketball somehow. Like dudes were playing basketball when they just chucked it in my head.
It could be. Maybe
was
they weren't
intentional.
aiming for you. They
No,
were.
it was intentional.
Okay.
I think it was my ex one time.
I was good at floor hockey. They gave me I had aggression and they gave me a stick. I was pretty good at floor
We
hockey.
never played floor hockey.
Oh, I was pretty good at that one.
We
No.
just had to like play it like a football thingy. Like if you had to stay in one spot, throw a football, I guess, and you can't throw it to the same person. I always sucked at that game.
Yeah, that one's kind of dumb. Nobody heard that.
No.
Look at that.
No one heard anything.
Well,
Uh-oh.
This is a good podcast to watch instead of listen to because even with the microphone right next to her face, Jasmine cannot speak loud enough. And we
hold it
thought
up
that
this
Sharon was going to be our problem.
yeah, that's better.
Like,
That's better.
we assumed that Sharon would be the one who was so quiet we couldn't hear her. Mostly because she sometimes is anyway.
Spot.
Yeah, see, look, that's the only spot the whole
That's
time they're going to be
lovely.
able to hear you.
Like,
It'll be
Well.
fine.
It'll be okay.
Mm-hmm. Do we have anything else that we want to talk about?
no.
Any other big and exciting plans, things coming up,
Uh,
things we're looking forward to?
No, not really.
sleeping. I don't have school Friday, so Friday don't have school this Friday.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, well,
Teacher in service.
last week, collectively as a district, you went to school one day
Yeah, one
out of
day.
5.
Yeah.
So I don't think you get to complain too much about going to school this week.
Listen. I'm still gonna.
I mean, yes.
Oh.
I still kind of sort of have my fingers crossed that Wednesday will be a 2-hour delay day at least. Because Wednesday's
They
the
might
day
have
I'm
a
supposed to
delay
go to
tomorrow.
school, and I'm a little bit like, oh, but it's so much work. See, I always enjoy myself once I'm there. It's just a matter of, like, getting me there.
Getting
Because,
there.
like, it's just something about, like, getting ready for school and going to a high school that, like,
Trip to kids.
bubbles up things that I just, like, I don't want to go.
Have you ever?
I don't wanna
urge
do
just
this.
To, like, just trip a kid. Like,
Oh my, why are we back on violence?
I don't know. I didn't bring up the violence.
What is it?
what? Those kids at that high school can be mean.
No, that is true.
Yeah.
That's
Kids in general can be mean.
Like, ugh.
It's just... And some of that stems from being in a smaller community like this. The one I grew up in was smaller, but like smaller communities, because you don't ever get away from each other.
Yeah.
You know, like in larger communities, like you go to elementary, junior high, and high school with different kids. In smaller communities, you have been with the same 100 people for 13 years by the time you graduate. By the time you graduate, you're real lucky if you're speaking to any of them. Because there is such a thing as too much togetherness. And, like, by the time you get through...
I know the same
By
batch
the
of
time
kids
you
got
get through the
17
elementary years of they won't play with me crying, and the junior high years of nobody likes themselves, so they're real mean to everybody else, and then the high school years where nobody speaks to each other because they're tired of this crap, like, it's just, I find
You
it
know, always
insane.
on your
I
phone.
find it insane that people still talk to people that they were
See,
friends with in high
I
school.
think starting today,
Like, that takes, like, true dedication
in
and
my algebra
being a good
class,
friend.
my algebra teacher legitimately has a like a box
Mm-hmm.
that we had to put our phones in. That's on our own desk, so we gotta put our phone in the box, and we can't get on it or open the box.
We need a
We have that at the
TAC
high
box
school.
because there's a couple of you that are not very good at staying off of your phones for the 20 minutes I'm supposed to be talking to you.
Yeah.
Or the 20 minutes you're supposed to be paying attention to me and writing things down. Yes.
Yeah.
I pay attention. No one dropped it.
Yeah. Some of us are getting there.
Ugh.
They're learning.
For the most part, I argue this with every batch of TAC kids. Like, you drive me crazy. By the time I get you to the point where you follow directions and you know what you're doing, you graduate and you leave me and I got to start all over again. Like, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Like, who thought this was going to be fun?
That's great.
It is great, honestly,
Who's
most of
gonna
the time.
replace
But
us when, like,
I don't know.
when we graduate?
I'm going to worry about that later. I don't have anybody graduating this year.
nope.
You
got
two
two.
years.
So, like, I'm not going to worry about it this year.
You got 2 graduating next year.
Yeah.
Not me.
Not yet, no.
No.
It's nuts.
I think most of you, Aaron, Hannah, most of the TAC are graduating in the next 2 years.
And most of us are.
We gotta
26.
really recruit some of those 7th and 8th graders.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't collect any this year. I usually collect a couple every year. And somehow or another, all of that talking I did me no
work.
good.
Just didn't
Yeah.
work.
That's okay. We'll find people. We always seem to.
Yep.
I mean, I started this with 4 people.
Yay.
Yeah, 4 people. And then
Now
COVID
we're
killed us.
11.
COVID killed us and we were like 7 people. Last year we were what, like 18?
Yeah, we were like full for most of it.
Yeah.
And then people graduated.
And moved away.
Yep.
Or some
Because
people,
they
or
suck.
some people just dropped out.
Yeah.
So some people just needed to drop out.
Jasmine, you are our vice president. You are
I
supposed to
can't
be.
talking about this.
You are supposed to be the person who,
I'm sorry, but
like,
some of them
is nice and kind and makes our new members feel welcome
We can't be talking about.
and like
those
they
people.
belong. You're
Some
supposed to
members
be like
do
your
belong.
job
We can't.
description is to foster a sense of community
the kids
and
don't need
family.
to be fostered. They need a dog.
That's so funny.
Yeah, no.
Remember,
We're doing
that
all right.
One
We're
girl
doing
that
okay.
was Woofy?
Should we be name dropping right now?
Probably not. I mean, yes, we all know we have had members in the past who have not fit in with the group as well. Those are usually the members who choose to remove themselves because
Yeah.
it's not a good fit.
I forgot the mic was still on. I just dropped the name.
We are going to work on observational skills
Oh my god!
and our problem-solving skills.
I got a 27 out of 25 on my observation quiz today.
Yay!
Experiment
What were
science.
you what were you observing?
Nothing really. We just like answered questions about observation skills and perception and stuff.
Oh, so like they weren't testing your actual observational
No.
skills. They were testing your knowledge on observational skills.
Yeah, well, we had to make 3 about the room we were in, which was easy. It's just,
Yeah, that's not so bad.
no,
Okay.
it was easy.
Before this derails any further, do we have anything else that we want to say or talk about?
No.
No,
You know, outside of other people?
No.
we don't gossip in TAC.
No, we don't.
Nope.
No, we don't.
Yeah, no, we don't.
No, my grandmother. This is one you're going to want to remember. We'll close
Okay.
on this note. This is one you're going to want to remember. Keep it in your back pocket. It's a good argument. She did not gossip. she discussed neighborly news.
Neighborly
What's
news.
the difference?
Neighborly news.
I spent years asking her, Grandma, what's the difference? And she could never give me a good answer. So, it's a good argument to keep in your back pocket. No gossip.
No gossip.
Just discussion of neighborly news.
Yep.
You know, like those busybodies on Facebook.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Except this was before Facebook, and my grandma tried to give my grandma the computer. She could hardly work the TV. And she only had 5 channels.
Grandma's the same.
Okay, so nothing else to say, nothing else to add. We had an interesting conversation revolving around a lot of things we maybe should not have been talking about in the general public, including violence.
Sorry.
But that's okay. We've had worse discussions.
Yeah.
And we've already discussed what's happening here at Marvin, which we hope to see people at.
Please come.
And we've got a library state of libraries discussion too, that if I edit this in the direction that I usually edit our videos, will be coming directly after this segment. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. That's okay.
It'll be alright.
Yeah, it'll be fine. So, bye.
Oh, bye.
Welcome to the segment where we talk about the state of libraries today. The library world is in constant flux. As library users, with a little bit of inside scoop, TAC members have a unique perspective, and we thought that it would be interesting to start talking about these topics. The goal is to hear from teens what they think, not just my opinions and information spat out at you. We're still working on the talking about these things rather than just listening about these things, but hopefully we're going to get there. As a reminder, the views and opinions that are expressed within our program are the thoughts of TAC members and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of Marvin Memorial Library as an organization. Thank you. So now what are we talking about?
What's happening in libraries around
Ohio.
Yes.
Happening
I also
in
have
Ohio.
some headlines and stuff from, like, national publications of what's going on in libraries.
But those are sad ones.
I know you don't like these ones because they're sad. I do have one good news thing, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, this one's kind of a good news thing too. And there's another one in here that's almost good news, but I would have to print the whole article to find out what the rest of it is. So I just have it question marked.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is important to also talk sometimes a little bit about the bad news things because that keeps people thinking about it, so that they're being nice to their own home libraries.
Okay.
So, what do you have?
Who's starting?
Who's going first?
Oh,
Who's got
okay.
anything? Anything we think is exciting?
In, how do you say that?
Bozzard?
Bozzard Memorial Library. In the...
No idea. The Galea Jackson Meigs ADAMH board
hosted an international speaker, mental health advocate, filmmaker, author, and suicide attempt survivor Kevin Hines. During his visit to Gallia County, Hines presented his message of hope to 2,600 people.
Whoa, 2,600 people?
Yeah. With all middle school and high school students in the area having the opportunity to hear his message, counselors were on hand at each session for those who needed support. So that was nice.
That is kind of cool. That's a lot of people. My God,
That's like a lot of people. That's crazy.
It sounds like they did it over multiple sessions, multiple locations, kind of thing. Not all at once. It'd be hard to have that kind of a deep discussion with that many people at once.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Was I gonna do one of these? I forget. No, I don't think so.
Some of these things I kind of think we've already talked about in a couple of our previous podcasts, but this was the most up-to-date what's happening in Ohio libraries email I could get in my email box from OLC. So you guys will probably focus in on things different than the last people who focused in on things. Because Adam and Aaron, between the two of them, I don't think we're quite on point with the purpose of talking about libraries and why we do that.
Yeah, well, it's Adam and Aaron, so.
Yes. I mean, they did a good job. They are entertaining to listen to. However, the kind of serious aspect of why we want to be talking about libraries
is lost.
Yes.
when it comes to them.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So what else did you have that's fun and exciting?
This one that's fun and exciting, kind of, is Midpoint Library System teamed up with Lakota West High School students to present an ASL story time.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We used to do one year, the first year I did the alphabet, we did learn the alphabet in ASL, like the alphabet and one word for each letter, because we were doing like the alphabet that year. But this year, it was a little too much for this year's batch of kids. We were bringing back other things to story time that used to be standard, but with our COVID babies became a little
COVID babies.
like we were a little unable to do it. And so this year we brought back other things to story time, and ASL wasn't one of them. Yeah. It was like too many things all at once. I was like, we're going to skip that and come back to it. But that's really cool. That's awesome.
And Orville Public Library used a grant from the Orville Area United Way to purchase Spanish and bilingual books for all ages.
Oh, that's kind of cool. We have a small section of Spanish language books in the children's department. We've got, I think, one chapter book, a couple of easy readers, some nonfiction, and a handful of picture books. So, I mean, if nothing else, you'd think it would be useful when you were taking your Spanish classes.
Okay. I'm up. So
You're up. What do you have that's exciting?
Burchard Public Library has teamed up with Connecting Kids to Meals organization to offer after-school meals and snacks.
Ain't nobody gonna be able to hear you. Look at those little bumps.
Start yelling.
So, like, offering meals after school.
Ooh, nice. So it's
library.
kind of like the summer food program, only wintertime. That's really neat.
Okay. Here's an...
See if I can maybe angle it closer to you.
Mm-hmm.
Cuyahoga.
Cuyahoga Falls Library is...
How am I the only person who's not from Ohio and I'm the only person in the room who can say it?
I don't know.
Okay.
But they're expanding services for immigrants,
Refugee.
families, and kids, so it's sensory needs.
Well, that's really awesome. That's a lot of boxes checked all at once. That's really cool.
To purchase materials such as magnetic letterboards, puzzles, low vision books, coding robots, weighted stuffed animals, story time kit designed for English language learners.
That is very neat. That's cool.
That's really nice.
It is. Okay.
They're a bigger system. They have a little bit more wiggle room.
Yeah.
The amount of things that they can
more
buy.
cash moolah.
Well, yeah, that's I was trying to be nicer about it, but yes, that is what they do have more cash moolah. They also have a larger service base. They serve more people, which sometimes makes a difference in the variety of things that they offer.
Yep, and the next one is Westlake Porter Public Library is like...
You gotta project a little bit,
Hey,
like face the microphone, not your lap.
Okay, the Westlake Porter Public Library is like offering support to families who are seeking information on child learning disabilities such as dyslexia, and they're like
That's a good one too.
funding, like thanks to funding provided by the Ohio Department of Education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're both there.
And the rest of it is cut off, so.
Yeah. So, hey,
It's okay.
my printing is sometimes funky.
It's okay.
Yeah. There you go.
That's it. I gave you 13 pages of stuff and you came up with 4 things you liked? Whoa, you look so scared. Why do you look so scared?
I'm not scared.
Okay, I moved that because I moved the video thing. Do you think you can be loud enough?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we've talked in the past a little bit about, a lot about banned books, but a little bit about some of what's going on in places like Texas and Florida, and Iowa's got some scary stuff on the books too. But I can tell you that in a major win, see, sometimes my national headlines are good. In a major win, the appeals court upholds the block on Texas book rating law. We mentioned in one of our previous podcasts about Texas wanting to enforce like rating levels on the books as to what their content would be.
Like rated R and stuff?
Yeah.
That's weird.
And other things too were included in their book ratings.
Wow.
And there's very unclear about who was going to be making those rating decisions, and what those rating decisions were going to mean for librarians and teachers and what the consequences of that was going to be. Like if you had a book that was deemed rated at an inappropriate level, what was going to happen to you because you had it in your space. Anyway, a 3-judge panel of the Fifth Circuit, said to be the most conservative court in the nation, they agreed with the lower court that the mandatory book ratings were unconstitutional. So that's very exciting. Yeah, it was a Texas law requiring publishers and vendors to provide content ratings for books is unconstitutional.
Yay!
So, yay, that's a win. Woo! One of my other emails also mentioned a big win in the censorship battle in Florida, but it didn't go into detail to say what it was, just that there was a major win in a Florida case against book banning. So,
Yay!
We're excited about wins. Woo!
Yay!
Like, we like the wins. Yes, exactly. And the freedom to read and choose and read what you want. None of my business what you read. This one that I thought was really cool is the inaugural Eleanor Roosevelt Banned Book Awards are set for next month, which would be February, which would be right around the time that this should be posting. On February 17th, the Eleanor Roosevelt Center and the Fisher Center at Bard College will host the first ever Eleanor Roosevelt Banned Book Awards, which is super exciting. Like, yay! And in addition, Judy Blume will be honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Bravery in Literature, which is also super awesome because poor Judy Blume is like 84 years old now. Oh. And she has been publishing...
Elderly.
Yes, but she's awesome. She's been publishing books since the, 50s or 60s is when her books first started being published for children. And she has been banned nearly as long. She has been fighting this fight as long as she has been writing. If you get a chance, you should really watch the documentary she did about her books and book bans. It's on, I think, Amazon Prime is the service that had it. And she talks about how there was a big push in the 80s like this, and that they fought and that they thought they won, and now it's creeping back up again. Yeah. So it super stinks that she's been having the same fight for the majority of her life because she writes honestly about children for children, which has always been good for children, but adults don't always like. So I think it's super awesome that she is getting recognized for being so super cool and awesome, that she still gets on her soapbox to tell people why that's dumb and stupid and that they shouldn't be doing it.
Stop doing it. She kept fighting for it.
She did keep writing, and she keeps talking about why books for children are important and why being honest with children is important and why if you don't like it, that's okay for you and your family, but it might not be okay for me and my family. And why
gonna find out one way or another.
And why it's sometimes good to be able to have that book or have that resource as a way to open the doors of communication with you and your kid. Like, as a good way to be like, okay, I don't know how to talk about this myself, but we're going to talk about it with Judy Blume because Judy Blume talks about it. Yay. Which is super awesome. So yeah, I was just excited. That was like a good news. That was like a good news thing. That's because a lot of this, I mean, honestly, a lot of this stuff, because it's this time of year, it's like award season for books, and so it's like, who's gonna win? And these are the best book lists for doing this. And there was an article about John Green that they were talking with him. He's super awesome.
I love John Green.
He is fun. I follow him on Instagram. I recommend him. He's great. Let's see. That's just basically book stuff. Do we have anything else about libraries that we're excited about? Anything else that we read about that we thought was super cool? That we wish we were doing that we're not doing?
There was one about like a NASA thingy.
NASA partnerships are good. We have used some NASA resources in the past because with library programming, because they work really well with libraries to offer programming options. The solar eclipse coming in April We are in the path of totality, so, like, we will have a total solar eclipse on April 8th. People are getting a little super nervous about what that's going to mean for, like, how many people are going to be in the area to see it.
My history teacher was talking about, like, there's probably going to be so
and
many
why, like, a lot of places are preemptively closing. We, as of right now, are still open, but we're going to kind of take it day by day, kind of like a snow day kind of thing. Like, if our area is overrun, which we don't expect it to be, because we aren't an area that is naturally inclined to that. Like, we don't have a lot of campgrounds. We don't have a lot of hotels. We don't have, like areas that are already used to that kind of thing are expected to see a lot more people, and are already booked in advance for people coming in to see it. But plus two, like, we're further north, like where it swoops through Texas, they're probably going to see more people because the weather's nicer. Because, like, April 8th, it still might snow on you. You don't want to be camping
in snow.
No. So, we are looking towards, a lot of places are looking towards, like, programming around the solar eclipse. And we do have solar eclipse viewing glasses that we're going to be passing out. I don't know how yet, so don't be asking for them yet. Like, because I don't know how we're passing them out, how we're determining who gets what. But that is something that will be coming.
Yippee.
I just did a full day conference on summer reading stuff, which was okay. It was not the best one I've ever sat through. I probably would have gotten more out of it like 5 years ago when I hadn't done as many summer readings. But it felt like it was all geared towards people who needed maybe a little bit more help getting off the ground, as opposed to people who needed new ideas and ways to connect to the adventure theme. So I was a little bummed. But it was still nice to get out and talk with other librarians and see what other people are doing. Because we're really right on point with what most other libraries are doing in the state. Ways we're trying to connect with our people and offer things for our people and whatnot. So that's always nice to hear that, we're not... I mean, we are kind of making it up as we go, but we're doing a good job as we make it up as we go, as opposed to, like, being the weirdos on the corner who don't know what they're doing. Like, so that's always kind of nice.
Good.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Yes, unless you have insight to tell me we're not doing good.
I don't.
At which point, great. Bad news is sometimes good too, because it tells us what we need to fix.
Yippee.
So, anything else to add to libraries and how we feel about libraries, or why they're important, or things we're excited that our library is doing? Or things that we wish our library was doing? Things that we saw in other libraries? Anything that has to do with a library at all. You can say no. You can be done. We've been talking for 12 minutes.
According to that, it's a 16.
Well, I don't know why this thing says 12. I wonder if I did something, if I pushed a weird button and we're on like a weird time-lapse thing.
Uh-oh.
Because it looks a little condensed over here, doesn't it?
Well,
actually, you know what? This thing's still moving here, but this thing's not moving down here very well. So I don't know.
It might be behind.
I don't know. I'll figure it out, I guess. I'll have to do some listening when I edit it. I don't usually edit the audio too much, which is why I don't imagine why anybody would want to listen to us. But
yeah,
we'll see how it goes. See what happens. I'll take a look. It really does seem to be moving on a slower... we should stop talking about and watching that and focus on something else. Do we want to move on to our next discussion?
Yeah.
Which I think in the order of editing will be out of order because this one goes last.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Okay. Then let's see.
Alrighty.
Okay, yeah, see, all my things are set the same way they were set before. But... Thanks for listening to this month's Teen Conversation, which has gotten a lot longer over the seasons. Remember, you can watch us on YouTube by searching Marvin Memorial Library Children's Department, or by following the link on our teen programs page of our website, marvinlibrary.org. We can also be found on Spotify and other podcast sites. See our website for the full list. thanks again for listening, especially if you made it all the way to the end of this to hear me saying this, because this was a lot of stuff you listened to. So, thank you.